It is the beginning of September and the stock market is crashing and everyone is selling. Welcome to my channel where you can watch my AI stocks, cryptocurrency, wealth building investment strategies and how I use these to beat inflation. Stick around to the end of the video where I'll give you my thoughts on how I intend to take advantage of this investment opportunity. During August, there was an initial drop of the market when there was panic in the air as stocks dived on recession fears, interest rate cuts, AI stocks falling, and the yen carried trade. All of this was accompanied by financial media hysteria calling for an emergency Fed rate cut for as much as 1% as they thought the economy had fallen off the edge of the cliff into a recession. Then the S&P 500 recovered back to its near bull market high and no emergency rate cut. This is why I do not read or watch any financial media press or TV channel, as they always advise the incorrect strategy for the financial markets. Their primary focus is to sell fear and panic, so to maximize their own exposure and profits. The current market panic is delivering buying opportunities across AI stocks, where all that I am doing is dollar cost averaging into them by following my buy-in ranges. This has given me the opportunity to purchase great AI stocks such as Nvidia for as little as $92. Looking at the S&P 500 trend, I believe there will be a correction window into October that will begin the US post-election bull run into Christmas. All I'm doing is placing limit orders for my key AI stocks to dollar cost average into them. During August, there was a decline to around 5,100 and then a rally to around 5,600. So I am expecting a final decline to around 5,200 or 5,100. Recession. The financial media are even talking about how the US Federal Reserve's rate cut is a signal that the US is in recession. Even if that does materialize, I believe it will not prevent the stock market from going up over the next 12 to 18 months, especially for AI stocks. While people listen to these financial media experts, they'll be watching from the sidelines as AI stocks rise. In my August market update video, my view was to expect a cut in September and another one before the end of 2024. I'm not a financial advisor and this is not financial advice. This is purely what I intend to do. I expect the S&P 500 index to correct into October to target around 5,200, 5,100. However, this index does not factor in to what AI stocks I buy and sell. It acts as a rough guide in terms of the overall direction of travel for the market. For example, I expect this bull market to continue for at least another year, so deep drawdowns in AI stocks, I believe, should be temporary as they eventually look to set new bull market highs. Nvidia, the best AI stock in my portfolio. Nvidia is AI. It is rare for it to drop for an opportunity to buy. I'll continue to add more during the September correction. I'll be careful of over-trimming Nvidia. I do not mind having deep corrections. I'd rather that than be sat on the bench watching this AI stock soar to the moon. Earning growth remains strong. However, Nvidia today is not that of a year ago. Today, Nvidia has a market capitalization of 3.2 trillion, which means Nvidia has increased market capitalization 14 times in less than 2 years. Though it is easier for a stock to go from 1 trillion to 3 trillion than to double from 3 trillion to 6 trillion. Therefore, most of the growth in the stock prices for the next year is already priced in. I think it still can go higher to around $200, but it's already gone up by nearly 50% from its recent correction low in August of $92, which is how the money will be made from this stock. It's hard to buy and hold for $200 because you're asking for a 3.2 trillion stock to double to 6.4 trillion, which is a tough task. It's much easier to expect a double from 2 trillion to 4 trillion. For example, from $92, then from $128. Can Nvidia grow 14 times again? Yes, but not over the next 2 years. Maybe over the next 10 to 15 years. My buying target for Nvidia is $100. Google continues to struggle against OpenAI's ChatGPT, releasing Gemini, which turned out badly. The stock price has grown over the last 12 months, but not as much as the other AI stocks. The earnings growth show that the stock is set to steadily increase to $200 this year. It is a steady AI stock, not volatile like AMD or Nvidia. Keep on trending higher is the message from Google. My buy target for Google, $150. AMD is in the race with Nvidia to release new AI chips to power AI laptops and PCs, which at this point is more marketing hype than anything. For example, do not rush to upgrade where AI isn't concerned. AMD is not superior to Nvidia, but AI chips sounds like a sales gimmick. The only reason to buy AMD processors is because they're a lot better than Intel's, and that remains the case. While earnings are good, but not enough to justify the rally to over $220, which I trimmed heavily. Whilst AMD is a very good AI stock, it is still not Nvidia. The bottom line is that I've been waiting for opportunities to buy AI stocks, which during September I'm now getting those opportunities. And some of the best AI stocks in the market is AMD. My buy target for AMD is $125. Of all the AI stocks, Microsoft has been the hardest to accumulate into. It doesn't seem to give me much of a buying opportunity. My last purchase was in 2023 for an average price of $290. Today, Microsoft is priced fairly. The stock has dropped since its $468 high, trading at support around $400, therefore acknowledging that Microsoft does not tend to give much of a buying opportunity. My buy target for Microsoft is $370. Since November 2022, Meta has had a spectacular bull run and refuses to retreat despite being overextended. The reason for this can be seen in its high earnings growth. It's going to take a lot more than a war in the Middle East to knock this stock lower. Every time the stock looks like it's going to drop, it reverts higher, back above $500. Thus, it's one of the best AI stocks that I've invested in. I have trimmed my Meta stock after purchasing most of the stock during November 2022. Earnings growth is still great with Meta, so I believe the risk is to the upside. My buy target for Meta is $420. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing was the weakest of my AI stock shares in my portfolio, as I bought around $90 during August 2023. 12 months later, rocketing higher to $189, which I was able to trim. Company has excellent earnings and future growth should mean any drop in the stock price will be temporary. My buy target is $130. Qualcomm, finally coming alive in 2024. I've been accumulating this stock all throughout 2023 for under $100 on average, and then trimming heavily as it reached an all-time high of $230. It is looking fair price now alongside Microsoft. My buy target is $140. Tesla is a sleeping AI giant. Its future growth is with its rapid pace of development of the Optimus bot, where you'll get walking and talking AI robots that I suspect will arrive within the next 3 years. Therefore, I've been continuously purchasing Tesla stock this year and any signs of weakness in which the earnings growth has been weak and the price dropped. My view on the bigger picture for the next 10 years for Tesla is to go at least 10x. Short term is high risk AI stocks, which can be volatile. My buy target, $170. ASML stands out with the strong earnings and growth. I'm not expecting any upward surprises and a fair chance of a downside surprise to present much of a buying opportunity. I find this stock is a great AI stock in terms of accumulating and trimming, giving plenty of opportunities to do both, as recently as the all-time high of $1,100. After trimming, I'll continue to accumulate into this AI stock. My buy target is $780. AI stocks is a balancing act between having exposure and overpaying for the stock. Its easier thing to do would be to invest and forget, which really does mean invest and forget. I can't do that for stocks as AMD. It's too volatile to not try and capitalize on the volatility, which is why I buy in and out of AMD depending on what the stock prices does, whilst attempting to build a core position in the stock, because I believe regardless of what stock prices do, the AI megatrend is going to run for decades. My view on Bitcoin, it is trending down to $55,000. Therefore, effectively in a range between $61,000 and $55,000. I think that following this correction, Bitcoin will target a trend first to $90,000 and then above $100,000, which should be achieved before the end of this year, where the longer the correction goes on, the more powerful should this eventual upside break out. This correction is now 5 months old, so at most there could be one more month to go before it's blast off time, by which time many will have sold. And lastly, do not forget that we're in a bull market that has at least another year to run, which means that when stocks fall, it's time to get greedy, not fearful. Thank you for watching. My next video will be focused on my stock market trend to the end of January 2025.